Hello and welcome to the DSR Daily. I'm your host for today, Riley Fessler, joined by Minna Stein. How are you, Minna?
I'm glad it's Friday because, as David always says, there's no news on Friday.
Yeah, I'm very thankful it's Friday. We finally made it. Thank God. But unfortunately, I don't know that there's no news today. So
Oh, darn
why
it.
don't you get us
I was hoping we'd get the weekend off.
started?
A federal judge has ordered at least one official from Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency to testify and provide documents in response to a lawsuit filed by labor unions against the Trump administration. The unions are trying to block the Department of Government Efficiency's access to sensitive Labor Department data, arguing it would violate privacy laws. The case has raised concerns about the Department of Government Efficiency's transparency and its authority, with the unions fearing potential conflicts of interest, particularly regarding Musk's business interests and federal workers' personal information. This is the first time somebody who works at this department is being brought to speak on what is actually going on over there while under oath. And the judge, actually, who made this happen, said that what was going on at this department was, quote, opaque. So,
Yeah, I mean, that seems
not
like
looking great.
That seems like it's putting it pretty diplomatically.
Yeah.
I mean, we know that like 20-year-olds named Big Balls have access to incredibly sensitive information. So I share their concerns about what's going on at DOGE. And I would
Diplomatic,
like
but
to know.
not favorable. So,
Yeah, yeah. I want to know what's going on there. I have a feeling it would send shivers down all our spines because I can't
I'm
imagine
sure.
that there's any kind of accountability there.
No.
I mean, like I said, we already know that multiple 20-year-old Tesla interns and SpaceX interns are holding the keys to sensitive government data. So I would like to know a little bit more about what's going on at DOGE.
Yeah.
Hopefully
Well,
we can find out.
yes, hopefully we'll find out soon, and hopefully the unions will win this fight.
Fingers crossed. Well, during UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer's first visit to the White House, he met with President Trump, where key moments included Starmer delivering a surprise invitation from King Charles for a second state visit, which Trump accepted. The meeting highlighted Trump's dominant approach in discussions, though both leaders exchanged praise. They discussed trade, with Trump acknowledging Starmer as a tough negotiator and suggesting a potential trade deal. Trump also expressed support for the UK's Chagos Islands deal and walked back his previous comment about Ukrainian President Zelensky being a dictator. Additionally, Starmer defended the UK's commitment to free speech in response to criticism from US Vice President J.D. Vance. That's a rare name to hear in a news story, is old J.D. Vance. Kind of
Where in the
forgot
world
about him.
is JD Vance?
He's like he's in a cabinet. He's in a cupboard. He's living in like a Harry Potter-esque cupboard under the stairs while Elon Musk moves into the vice presidential suite. That's my speculation. But
Unfortunately, I think you're right.
not that I'm much of a fan of old JD either, but yeah, you know, the for me the big highlight was him walking back his comments calling Zelensky dictator because he's like, did I say that?
He
And it's
was
like, okay,
joking.
yeah, it's like, what happened to old dementia-addled Joe Biden? Trump can't even remember that he called another head of state a dictator a week ago. Where are all the news headlines saying that Trump has dementia and
I know.
that the Trump administration is hiding his weakened mental state from the people? I want to see those. We got a bunch of them with Biden, so I can only assume that this incredibly left rabid media that I've heard so much about will also give us 24/7 coverage of Trump being forgetful, right?
Dare I say there's a double standard with these two super old
What?
white men?
What? Impossible.
Well, keeping on our foreign policy kick, South Korea's acting president and finance minister, Choi Song-mok, held a video call with U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent to discuss tariffs, investments, and forex policy. Choi urged Bessent to consider South Korea's contributions to the U.S. economy as President Trump pushes for new tariffs. South Korea, a key global exporter and major trading partner with the U.S., recently sought exemptions from U.S. steel and aluminum tariffs. Yeah, big ally of the U.S. Why we're putting a wedge in that relationship, I don't know, but that seems to be the trend.
I tend to like buying technology and new things. Therefore, I would not like tariffs on South Korea because then our technology will be more expensive.
And you are not alone in liking to buy technology. Lots of people do.
I generally don't like when my prices are higher for no perceivable reason or benefit to me.
And
especially
I am
when
sure
it's completely an artificial whim of my
for no reason. Yeah, I think people, once they actually see the impact of this, much like they're seeing the impact of all of the other things that are going on that they voted for, will be unhappy.
Yeah, I would hope, but I don't know. But yeah,
more town halls will get canceled.
Like you said, we've seen it happen already, so that gives me reason to hope. But I guess we'll find out.
Mm-hmm.
Well, a grassroots group, the People's Union USA, is urging Americans to participate in a 24-hour economic blackout today by refraining from all spending to protest corporate and political influence over working class lives. Founded by meditation teacher John Schwartz, the organization also plans targeted boycotts against major companies like Walmart, Amazon, Nestle, and General Mills. Other activists and faith-based groups are organizing similar protests, including a 40-day boycott of Target in response to its rollbacks of diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives. Experts are divided on the impact, with some suggesting it may cause temporary sales dips, particularly in liberal-leaning areas, but is unlikely to have lasting effects. I chose this story because I've seen a lot of people in my circles posting about this.
Mm-hmm, me too.
And people I follow. I didn't know about it until they posted.
I didn't either. So, that's also how I found out about it.
So I don't know how people are finding out about this, but you've heard it here first, folks. If you want to participate in the 24-hour boycott, it is today.
Yes.
But
a noble thing to do.
In terms of impact, yeah, I'm going to say probably not a lot. It's the kind of the thing of it'll be in liberal-leaning areas, the areas that already agree with you.
Yeah,
it's certainly not going to strike in the heart of the Dakotas.
No.
So, I think it's good that people are taking action, but in terms of like tangible impact, I think it'll be not much. But I think sending the message is important as well, and I think just even organizing the protest does some good on that front. So. It's an interesting idea. I hadn't heard of it before. The article was talking about kind of the Budweiser protests and how that was really effective. But I think conservatives have a more strange and sustained rage against companies that they perceive. Because if you remember the Budweiser campaign, that was because they used a trans activist for their marketing. So conservatives decided that they would no longer buy Budweiser products. And that actually did destroy Budweiser sales. So if we can sustain that kind of anger, that could work. But for a 24-hour thing, I don't think it's really going to hurt the pockets of these companies very much. The 40-day boycott of Target, that could actually do something. For sure.
Definitely. I definitely think it's a noble thing to do. However, I do wonder the reach of it if we're hearing about it online from our friends posting about it, what is the reach on like Facebook? Right. If you're middle-aged, do you know that this is even going on? And then it's only 24 hours. So it's not like you can hop on the bandwagon, a few days into it, more like you could the Target thing. But I do think it's a good idea. So maybe we'll see more things like that going forward.
Absolutely.
And our last story today, the Trump administration unveiled a nearly $1 billion plan to combat avian flu and address soaring egg prices, but staffing challenges at the USDA hindered the response. Key employees were fired as part of a government purge, and efforts to rehire them have faced logistical difficulties, with some staff unsure about returning to their roles. The firings have disrupted vital research and operations at USDA facilities, jeopardizing millions in federally funded research and the ongoing fight against bird flu and other diseases. Yeah, crazy that when you fire the people that you need to enact your $1 billion plan, you have to then rehire them. I also heard that some people who have taken their jobs back don't have access to their work materials, to their laptops, so they're unable to actually get the work done. This is a hot mess, and people will suffer because of it.
Yeah, no doubt. Just another highlight of the incompetence, or I guess low light of the incompetence of this administration, these cost-cutting efforts. Because, yeah, I would like a task force dedicated to combating bird flu. We're hearing more and more about this measles outbreak in Texas. I would like a competent administration to handle that as well. Unfortunately, we have RFK Jr. at the helm of those agencies.
And he says, measles outbreaks, they happen. They just happen.
They happen all the time.
They happen all the time.
Yeah. So not good. I would like to be healthy. And I think that is a desire of all Americans. So very short memory from the Trump people, given that COVID is the reason they lost to Joe Biden. I don't know if that's a hot take, but I think many people agree at this point that COVID is basically the only reason that Biden was able to win, or one of the leading reasons, what really tipped the scales. So not a wise decision to let outbreaks happen again. So I suspect that this will have unwelcome effects on the popularity of the Trump administration. But
also great job, DOGE, on cutting back costs. They fired everyone, saving a tiny bit of money. Then they announce a $1 billion plan to fight avian flu, and then they hire everybody back. I'm not complaining because I don't think those people should have been fired in the first place, and I do think that we should dedicate money to fighting diseases. So whatever, like I'm all for combating diseases and putting research into vaccines. However, if you're a Trump supporter, I'm just wondering, do you see that as saving costs? I'm not sure.
I think they're just counting on their base having the memories of goldfish. I mean, and this is they still follow, as much as Bannon has fallen out of favor in this administration. They still follow the flood the zone approach of just dumping news, flooding the zone with bullshit, so that people can only focus on one thing at a time. So I'm sure they're hoping that the people that believe they're actually cutting costs aren't even aware that they're rehiring these people.
Yeah,
I have to imagine that's the goal, and it'll probably succeed. But I'm glad they're coming back, regardless of how stupid it makes them look.
Yeah.
So,
well,
who knows?
Hopefully, knock on wood, we'll see more town halls getting explosive, more town halls getting representatives to change their mind in the hope that they get reelected. So it's working slowly but surely.
Yep, got to keep up the pressure any way you can, be it the 24-hour economic blackout, going to town halls, anything you can do.
Yep.
Is certainly a step in the right direction.
Definitely.
Well, with that being said, it is Friday, so enjoy your weekends. We will be back on Monday with David. He'll be making his triumphant return to the DSR Daily, so look forward to that. But in the meantime, thank you very much. Enjoy your weekends, and bye-bye.